But yeah, uh, we're back, and I was just talking about with the current amount of joy that I've received from this game. Basically, if I would recommend this. And for people who like games like Fallout, they like open world games with a lot of maybe less exploration. Well, there is a lot of exploration, but it's sort of a vast open world, and that's kind of what there is to it. Sure, there are some NPCs and mobs, stuff like that to take on, but there's not really a lot of meat to this game. If you've noticed, I've kind of been rambling and just roaming back and forth between a few areas. That's because the main story isn't driving me as much as say the main story in I'm kind of rolling my eyes when I say this, but the main story in Fallout 4 drove me. And that's saying a lot considering I didn't do the main story until I literally buckled down, started a new game, and did nothing but focus on the main story, and I still think it took me like 40 hours to actually get through to the main story. And that's with me buckling down every time I sat down to play it and going, alright, main story this time. And I still got distracted. So that's kind of saying a lot to tell you that I'm having as much fun as I am in this game, which basically is just me roaming around, collecting stuff, seeing if I can build stuff, and just figuring things out. It's not a lot of time, so yeah. Uh, that says a lot, though, about the main story of this game. And when it was first shipped off, the whole idea was the main story was going to drive you, and everything else was going to be side content. Well, when the game came out, everything that was supposed to be side content was all that there was to the game, and the main story that was supposed to be the driving factor and sales pitch of this game was an anvil. Ain't no one going to be wanting to take an anvil with them. So you can see where I'm coming from when I say if you want to be playing a game that tells you, go here, do this, this is probably not going to be the game for you. This is one of those games where you make your own fun. Like, I already forgot what I was going to do. I was going to go to that lighthouse, jump off of it, and see if I took any fall damage from it. But since I've kind of just picked the direction to roam into, I'm going to stick with doing what I'm doing. And that's roaming and looking at the land at whole. Let's get the fire axe out. So what does... Okay. One shot in with the fire axe. That's a pretty strong weapon. So the melee combat in third person seems pretty accurate so far. Again, it's weird for me to be playing this game like this because I'm always used to playing it in first person. And when I mean not this game, I mean like Fallout 4 and Skyrim in particular. This is someone's build. I thought it was actually a schoolhouse for a minute there. Might as well say hello. Mr. Funagains. Funagains? Yeah, whatever. Let's see, what's your door looking like? I can just open it. You have a lamp, but I don't think you have any power actually hooked up to it. Are you shooting me? You're not shooting at me, are you? Eh, whatever. If you are, I'll get into some PvP with you. I'm fairly confident I can just... I don't know if I like the fact, like, can you level up the weapons you currently have, or do you have to actually find weapons or build weapons that are that level? Because from what I can gather, it looks like you can upgrade the weapons at whatever level the weapon is, and that won't necessarily level the weapon up. So you want to be waiting until you're getting like max level weapons before you do anything regarding upgrading them or doing any kind of modifications to them, which kind of sucks because it looks like there's some very strong well, I say max level, but I mean like you get to the point to where you're starting to level up a lot slower than you normally would. To the point to where you can let's not use our shotgun on chickens. Thank you. We'll use the sharpshooter's pipe pistol. Anyways, so like if I were to just fully deck out my shotgun right now, would I be able to transfer any of the modifications over to the next one? I don't think so, because it sounds like any modifications you make will get immediately destroyed when you do go to make any changes on those modifications. And the thing that I was about to bring up was the chickens. That's something that, like I said earlier, it's something I really do like about this game. The fact that there's a whole bunch of neutral mobs roaming the wasteland. And it's not, and that's the thing, I keep calling it wasteland. Every time I do, I have this moment where I like turn my head to the side, because this is not a wasteland. And that's what I love about this. This is a green, healthy, it looks good, and I sincerely hope the very next installment, the next official Fallout game, is more like this in those circumstances, with like a lot more roaming animals. Like, the other thing, I really do want the ability to fish in this game. In any open, I think I mentioned this last time, but having the ability to actually like pull out a fishing rod, maybe not here because it's a little creek. You'd be able to, like, I could see you doing something else in little creek areas, maybe like gold, panning for gold. That'd be pretty interesting. But like lakes, ow, excuse you. Oh god. Fire axe. That is a very strong weapon, actually. We might as well heal up while we're at it before I forget and try to rely on a perk that only procs 45% of the time. I'm really disliking the fact that I get so many radiation. I get so much radiation from the food that I'm eating, but that's something that can't really be helped. It would be neat if you could, like, cook away the radiation. But the fact that it only reduces the amount kind of sucks. And the only way to get purified water is through a water purifier that you build at your base. What is this? Oh, I can handle this then.
And take down those supervisors. Once they're dealt with, you'll have to reboot the server. Again.
That made me jump. Okay. Mole rats, the scariest thing in this game. Kind of wasting this weapon on little mook creatures. But that's alright. We'll probably do this and end that episode here. Do this little quick quest. Oh, that's right. I want to do oh wow, the first time a farmhand actually is fighting me. Like, legit, I have to worry about it in quotation marks. Well, I missed that one. Server not responding. Alright, here's the first time we've come across this one. Disconnected from the server. Okay. What is that? The first time in how many hours? Oof. Let's see what happens when we go back into adventure mode. Let's see how long it takes. World found, please stand by. If stuff like that's consistent, though, it isn't worth the money. If, like, if you come into issues like that every single time you do a gaming session, it's something that would just, it wouldn't be worth it. Mind you, this is the first time in how many ever hours that this has happened, so it's not a deciding factor, but I'm glad we're coming across this issue now, though. It gets to show you that this game's not perfect. It's not become the game it was telling you it was going to be in 6 months or whatever it has been. It's been a little bit over 6 months. Where am I? I have no idea where I'm at. Let's look at our map. We're at the Overseer's camp. And I'm pretty sure we got kicked out of that quest. So that's a shame. And because we left, because we got kicked out, it's a different event we have. We have these Death Blossom event. That's a bit of a shame. Again, not, well, kind of is that big of an issue because if everyone got kicked out of the server, those people who took over that junkyard of mine, those individuals just lost it. So that's pretty bad. Could you imagine fighting for like an hour to get a piece of property from someone? They finally give up and screw off, and you start building, and as soon as you start building, you get disconnected from the server and have to restart all over again. Ooh, that would be a rage quit moment right there, I can guarantee that much. So, again, not the best product around, but it certainly isn't the worst. Or it certainly isn't what it used to be, at least. Get some of these items off me. Every time I come here I do this because having the amount of items weighing me down that I do is not necessarily needed to the extent that I have, because obviously from what you can see I don't really need the food that I have. Cures one disease. Okay, that's interesting. I should probably just cook that up because otherwise it's going to end up spoiling and like that. And all that spoiled stuff is good for is fertilizer. Then again, having all this stuff spoiled as I do. Ooh, can I build a potato plant? Because if I can build a potato plant, we are in the money. Before I forget, let me just... I can. Sweet. Oh, hey, super mutants. Wow, this is the first super mutant I've seen. Let's use the big boy for this. Wait for me to reload, please. I also need to heal, so I appreciate you, Ow. Okay. These guys are a little bit stronger than I was giving them credit for. Huh. That's that's a little bit of a shame. That's kind of aggravating. But then again, it's not that big of a deal because I... Wait. They're attacking my stuff? Okay, that's... Well, I don't really care. You can literally just kill me again, and I highly doubt I'm actually going to be losing anything. Like, I really don't mind dying from random AI. So, he's gonna start attacking my stuff again. Okay, so this is the thing I don't know if I like or not. They come out to your camps, so the best thing to do is to build some defenses, which is something I kind of didn't want to do. Okay. So... Wow, copper. Alright. Interesting. So, remember when I was talking about those copper veins having 1 or 2 resources? That's pretty much just... What was that? Alright, this is probably one of those games where you can be playing for several hours and not figure out everything. So that's pretty good. Ooh. Lost some blackberries, that's a shame. I can repair all this stuff though, so that's not too rough. So, what are we looking at? Well, didn't do as much damage as I had feared they did. So while I'm thinking about it, I might as well just build a quick little bunches of walls here. Walls. Where does one go for a doorway? I'm a little lost. I mean, I can build the weapons thing now, but... Where? Oh, where? I can build 2 generators, so I can... No, I can't. I need more gear. Do I not have... I'm a little confused by this. Hold on, let me do some experimentation here. Wall. Put this wall here. Go to doors. No. Okay, so... Again, this is not to do... This is not anything to do with me caring about any players coming along and destroying myself. This is more of a anti-NPC thing. The question is... Snap to an existing piece. I know that, but why won't it snap? Okay, so it won't connect to... I saw it wanted to connect there for a minute. Yeah, whatever, it's not that big of a deal. Something I'm focusing on that I don't really need to be focusing on. That's something I'm not sure a lot of people actually realize. But if you hold the X button when you're building something and you move the analog stick, you can actually move objects to a certain degree. And there goes all my gears. Okay, so that was pretty interesting. It doesn't look like when you die from any AI characters you lose any caps, or actually you lose anything. I need to double check though. Well, then again, I didn't have any junk on me, so I couldn't really tell you what you lose. So far I'm having a good time with the game. I would make a recommendation to probably get this on when it's on sale because of all the issues, or wait until, like I said, or wait until it has time to cook to actually purchase this product. Then again, I'm not 100% dived or delved into all the different game modes they have, and that's another one of the reasons why I would say that it might be a game to get. It also might be a game to pass up on because of those other game modes, because if the other game modes, like say if the BR from this becomes more popular than the base game, you're going to have people come into the base game just for the BR, and that would end up potentially resulting in the focus of the developers going from the game overall to straight up being focused on nothing but the BR or the survival mode. So I don't know, it's basically, like always, up to you to whether or not you want to buy this game or you want to just skip out on it. But the most thing I can say is I'm having fun. I bet if you have a couple buddies that have this game or are willing to get this game, probably when it's on sale, they'd probably have fun going through the wasteland with y'all. Like, get all your buddies together and go on a tear through the land. That'd be pretty interesting. Something to keep in mind though is like the VATS. The VATS is, I kind of like the VATS, but at the same time it's a little like, it's a little OP, you know, like that took no conscious effort at all. So, oh, like the perfect example is right there. Like, what's this? Again, this is, if it's better to just aim like this and fire, you should. But having it to where it's like this, and I'm running to catch up to the cat. Just wait for my stuff to... Oh my god, the cat's under the thing. I'm gonna try and follow this cat and see how much trouble I can get into. Well, no, I'm not. Basically, what I'm trying to get at, though, is... It isn't really... a fully fleshed out game like it should have been. So, like... It still has issues. Obvious issues. If you saw from what the PvP I was going through was. Interesting. We just got ourselves our first mutation ever. So here's... that's not what I wanted to do. How does one... Oh, that's weird. How does one affect? We got a mutation, so where do we see it at? Oh, I just hit Stimpak by accident. Son of a... Oh well. See, kill that human-like creatures right there. That's a shame that there weren't any actual NPCs like that to actually communicate with. I miss being able to walk up to like a group of people and actually having some kind of a communication with them, because like again, it hasn't been that much time at all I've spent in the wasteland of Fallout 76, but having the ability to go to a shop with an AI character, and I'm thinking of Trudy. I think it's Trudy in particular, where her son is a chem addict, and you have this choice between getting the money owed to the chem dealers that sit out front of her shop if you don't kill them, or to, like I just said, kill them. Now, what I would always do is, after finding out they were a shop, I would always get the money that's owed them so that they would stay around. And sure, it sucks, you're losing out on the discount from Trudy or what have you, but at the same time, having multiple shops available is really nice, because late game you have a lot of stuff you can sell and buy from other vendors that is worth a lot more. And you don't get those experiences in this game like that without those NPCs. Now that they've started to add NPCs, I'm predicting that it'll get a little bit more people playing this game. Then again, this is one of those games that's sort of a time sinky situation. Anyways, long story short, it's got its issues. I'm having fun with it though. I would recommend, if it's on sale, to get it then. At least from what I've seen so far. I can't say much for the other two game modes, but I would bet my bottom dollar that those said game modes are just as buggy, if not more so, considering they're new. So this has been, so far, I think the longest, or one of the longer parts of this playthrough. So I'm probably going to end it here. And tomorrow I will probably come back to record my final thoughts on the survival mode and the battle royale of this game, which tomorrow, again, I should say today because I'm recording this the day before it goes off of being live. I mean, being free to play. So you'll probably see this tomorrow, and then a couple days after you'll see my thoughts about Fallout VR and the survival mode. On a side note, what are your thoughts about this being limited time free to play? Do you think that they should have made it... Again, this is a slap in the face of those who have bought the game, but they didn't really care about that when it first came out, because a week after it released, it went on sale for a ridiculous amount of money. I think it went to like from 60 to 40, and then from 40 to 30, and then from 30 to something else. Like, it was just silly. It was just a slap in the face. So me saying this isn't really them being like, oh no, I'm not joining a team, I'm about to get off here, dude, sorry. I don't know if you saw that, but that's what I'm doing. Anyways, no, as I was saying, what do you think if they kept the free demo? They took away the demo part of it and made it free to play for ever and always. Do you think that's something that would fly? Well, I mean, not that they would care whether or not you would be appeased by that, but considering they have probably a decent amount of transactions going on in the Atom Shop or what have you, do you think that they would they're not making profits now. So would it be better for them to just give the game away and let people spend their money when they wanted to on cosmetics? Or do you think it would be better to give people a taste, try and lure them in with a taste, have them spend $30 a pop on a copy of this game, and then play it however long they play it for? I don't know, those are my thoughts. Well, those are my questions towards you. I'm kind of just rambling now because I really don't have too much more to say. It's fun. It's because of the most recent things that have occurred, though, it has severely hampered what my quote-unquote original score was going to be. I was going to actually write everything down that I had problems with, but I kind of stopped doing that almost immediately as I started because it's just too much work. I'm half joking, half serious. What I am getting at, though, is my score is a little bit hampered by the fact that I got dropped from a server at near the end of my playthrough, and at the beginning of it, I completely lost all the progress, all the resources that I dropped on that junkyard. So the fact that that happened, was a punch. It was a punch in the gut, and that's not a very good thing to have in your game when you first start out. It's rough. I'm not gonna lie. It's rough that within a 3-day period, in less than 10 hours, you see that many issues still. I say I had to add in that still because of the fact that
Automated warning to all responders.
it's not
Evacuate civilians.
as bad as it used to be.
Take down those
Like, you could look down, like I said, and run faster. That's a severe issue to have. I don't know what other issues there are, or other glitches there are, what have you, but the point I am making is, if the only issue I experienced was the optimization issues with the frame drop stuff, then I more than likely would have given this, like, if I was going to give it a score, which I don't necessarily... Nah, I'm not going to lie, I love giving stuff a score. Putting value on stuff is my favorite thing to do. So if I were to give this a score before this playthrough session, I'd give it like 6.5, a 6.5, right? And mind you, the way my scoring system works isn't like 5 don't play. It's like 1, 2, and 3 are your you don't want to play. 4, 5, and 6s are your it's good. Some people will like it. And 7, 8, and 9s are I highly recommend it. It's a really good game. 10s. Anytime I'm giving a 10, it's one of those games that you quote unquote have to play, in my personal opinion. If you don't play it, you're silly. So this is definitely not in the low tier, which is the 1, 2, or 3. It's not that. A 4.5 or a 5 so far. I know I haven't been playing it for too long, so there are probably certain things that I'm missing out on that I would like, and there's also probably some certain things I'm missing out on that I would dislike. I'm trying to keep that in mind with this grade. As of right now, for the base game, I give it a 4.55, which means some people out there will like it. Some of you won't. If you like Fallout games in general, if you like survival games in general, you will probably like this game. Add into the fact that you can play Fallout game, or a Fallout game, with your buddies, or with other people. That's why I'm rating it as a potential buy for people that like this kind of stuff. I will end up scoring all the game modes and averaging out that, so it would be like what out of 10 overall. So just for this, 4.55. Mind you, if I played more it could reduce the score, but I'm going to stick with what I got so far. So, I hope you all enjoyed. I know I had a fun time roaming the wasteland that is Fallout 76 alongside all of you who have been observing my commentary. That's something that just, it still weirds me out. It's not something that's detrimental to play through, but every time you take a enemy out, how they ragdoll, like how they like slowly get flung back like they're in slow motion, that's something that kind of like, it's noticeable and it makes me twitch a little bit when I see it. Twitch as in like, ooh, ooh, I don't like that. Ooh, I don't like that. But it's not one of those, I can't play it because I don't like it. It's one of those, I just don't like it in general. Alright, I've been rambling too long. That's it for me for now. I do hope you enjoyed. And if so, be sure to like the video, subscribe to see more content like this, make a comment if you have any thoughts or want to give any input, and ring the bell so you are informed whenever I upload a video, whenever that is. I'm not saying anything, so I don't know. I'm just walking away. I'm actually leaving, so I'm out. That's it from me. Bye-bye.